Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching a special edition of Soulcaster. I'm Michael. Yo, we got the one, the only Diana Massiera, all the way from France, and we're gonna talk about some stuff. We're gonna get deep. We're gonna get deep in this episode. So, Diana.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So we met at a fashion show. In
Yes.
fact, it was during New York City Fashion Week. I was actually one of the producers of the event, and you were walking in the event. You came with this whole crew from France, and
Yes.
you guys did amazing. Can you tell the audience a little bit about that, and then we're gonna jump into you.
Yes, of course.
Let's go.
So I am the official model of Pierre Paris, who is a
Okay.
French designer. And we actually came with our whole crew, our whole staff for New York City Fashion Week. We had a great time. And we added a little bit of entertainment in this fashion show.
A lot of entertainment. I'm talking about flips, dips, fancy walks, and one good thing, it wasn't just the flair. The fashion, stood up. Because sometimes you see, oh, great fashion, but it's a little boring, a little dry, gets, And then some people do all this extra stuff, but it wasn't interesting. Like, all that stuff was cool, but the fashion wasn't there. So, and it's interesting. You guys,
we had both.
You had both. Now, how many people in the team actually design those clothes?
Only one, Pierre Paris.
Wow.
Yes, he's the only one designing everything.
He's the brainchild.
He is, yes, he's the creative monster.
That is amazing. So, tell us a little bit about you. So, you're a shaman. You're a model.
Yes, I'm a shaman.
And
I'm
any
a
other
model.
things in there?
I'm also a cybersecurity consultant. It has nothing to do with one another, right?
Okay, what does someone with that title actually do?
The thing is, what was important for me was to actually follow all my passions and all the things that I like. And I like to show that we are not made to stay in one box and that everything is possible and we can, mix it up and have the life that we want.
And again, I'm in the US and you're in France. Well, actually, I'm in the internet universe. I don't really I don't have a location.
Same as me.
But this is so if we have any glitches or anything, we are live and we are in different countries. So what is it that someone does with that title as far as cybersecurity? What is the official title?
Oh, about the cybersecurity? Cybersecurity consultant is pretty much trying to design all the processes, the tools, the structures in order to protect a company from cyber attacks.
Wow.
Cyber attacks, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's interesting
Sorry
because checking out the Instagram, it's almost like you have this virtual job of protecting, right? But then there's this spiritual job of protecting. So you like protecting.
I do.
You
got me.
so how does that journey as far as a shaman and working with people and helping people and protecting people, how does that work? And how'd you get into it?
To me, actually, since I was a child, I could see things that other people could not see, and it scared me a lot. And I kept it for myself. My family members told me, not to talk about it. That I was the only one saying it. That I probably watched too many cartoons and things like that. And so, very strange things happened to me all my life. And about 6 years ago, I had my first child, my daughter. And as she was just a little baby, a few weeks old, I realized that she was actually turning her head towards the same shapes that I was still seeing. And so I was like, no one can say that this kid, this baby watched too many cartoons or like whatever. Right. There's truly something. Wow. And so from this point on, I accepted this gift, and I have been, digging, and now I'm able to communicate with guides, with angels. I'm able to see deceased people. Oh. And so very often, some of them have messages to give to their close ones. So I pass on the messages. I help this deceased one get into the light. I do all kinds of things. I'm also able to see, the different bodies of people. We have a physical body, obviously, but we also have an energetic body, an emotional body, a mental body, etc. And I'm able to see actually all these, and also get messages from all the bumps and the parts of these bodies that are actually impacted by people's past. So I get a lot of details about this, and so I'm then able to ask entities to come and help heal these parts for
now,
people.
Question for any individuals out there is like, you know what? Fairy tale is crazy. None of that makes sense. How do you feel about that? Do you react? Or are you kind of over it? What's your take on that?
I actually, to be fair, it was even for me as I was living all this, and I had so many proofs confirmations, by the living people, telling me, oh, that's crazy. How can you know this about my deceased aunt, my deceased, father, etc. Wow. Even with all this, it was still hard for me to accept that all this was true. And so I dived a lot into science and neurology, quantum physics. I love quantum physics. I swear I love quantum physics.
We got to get you on Geekcaster, yes, Soulcaster, because we've got a nerd in the house. A good nerd. Okay, good.
Definitely. But yes, science actually helped me, make sense of all this, because a lot of concepts in science, in microbiology, in endocrinology, in quantum physics, actually corroborate a lot of, the spiritual principles that I was living. So I'm at peace with this, and I usually, when people say, "Oh no, man, it's not possible," I'm just like, you know what? It's scientific, so
I'm laughing because it works with the accent. I'm at peace with these. I'm good.
It's the French accent.
It's the I'm at peace. I'm at peace. It's okay. So I saw a bunch of different topics on the IG. Things having to do with youth. In fact, you did. I think that was you in that. You did like this this photo shoot. It had to do with abuse, domestic violence.
True.
And stuff like that.
Yes.
So, yeah. How did and what are the things that you're, I guess, most passionate about? Is there specific things, or is it just overall healing and?
It's overall healing and pushing people to actually realize that we are in control, and we are a lot more in control than we think. And the only thing that is stopping us from actually taking this whole control is just the knowledge of how, these spiritual laws work. And so this is what I'm sharing in my books, and specifically in my latest book, which is called The Kings of Fear, which is a fantastic story
on the planet. Kings as in royalty?
Yes.
Kings of Fear, okay.
Kings of Fear, yes. And so about this book, it's a fantastic story which happens on another planet, which is populated by gods who have the power to create all they want just with the power of mind. But something happened, and they actually lose their supernatural capacities. And so a dozen of these guards actually go and look for the ancient texts that disappeared centuries ago in order to, with the hope to actually find, information that could help the gods retrieve their powers.
Okay. Now,
So
I see where you go with it. So how many? Because I could see even talking to you and even with the fashion show and the designs and just your whole crew, like dipping your toe into fantasy, but you're still kind of basing things on, at least spiritually, with understanding that exists. So how much do you ride the line of what you understand as the reality that people can't see versus fantasy?
It's kind of a mix, that you can actually apply to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's also just the simple principle of being able to follow our dreams.
Mm-hmm.
In order to follow our dreams, you have to start dreaming. So if you dream, you're not basing yourself on reality in a sense. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Right, right.
So yeah, I like to tie, these
Tight.
two, but in this sense, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Now,
yes.
is it almost protecting yourself in a way? Because there's certain things that, like for instance, I don't know that many. I mean, they might be into it secretly, but a lot of people, if they do the self-help books or healing or meditation, they kind of stay that path, and then there's fantasy stuff, but you kind of cross.
I like to mix. Yeah,
Now, does
yes,
that take?
yes.
Do you feel that takes away any credibility in the things that you might say that people like? I don't believe her. That's just not real.
Not really. I see it as a way to actually push people who don't believe in it
Okay.
to actually start becoming interesting, because they get into the fantasy parts and they're like, oh, that's a nice story. And all of a sudden they're like,
Mm.
this can apply to my life. And
Nice.
so for people who are actually spiritual and who know all this, it's just obvious to them, from the start that this is
Gotcha.
a spiritual guide. Yes.
Gotcha. That's good. So what? First of all, how can everyone get any of these books? How do we?
My books are available on Amazon,
Okay.
so
Not
anywhere in the
Amazon.
world.
It's not on Amazon.
Amazon,
It's on Amazon.
Amazon,
Amazon.
Amazon. That's
Amazon.
the French way to say it.
Went up. It's like Amazon. Yeah.
Amazon.
So just put in the title. Should we put in your name and like all of them pop up? Is that the easiest way to do it?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. Just put Diana Massiera and my books will pop up.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. How many books do you have there now?
I have 3 books
Okay.
that are published. So the first one is called Teach Me the Universe.
Okay.
It's about the story of a family coming from UK to Arizona and New
Wait,
Mexico.
what you know about Arizona and New Mexico?
I did. I used to live more than 10 years in the US.
What?
Yes, yes,
Okay. Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So I know
Where
a
did you
little bit.
live?
I know it a bit.
You know a little bit, a little something. Where did you live?
I lived in Philadelphia and in Miami, but I traveled a lot in the US while
Okay.
I was there.
Okay.
Yes,
Because that's like me, like, yeah,
yes.
I wrote this book about living in Romania. Like, like, how's that work? Or Tanzania.
You
You're
may
like,
have been there.
everyone from
You may
Tanzania
have
is
been
like,
there.
we don't do that. We don't co-sign on that over there. No, but that's great. No, that's awesome. So what made you move
Yes,
here and go back to Paris?
to Paris.
Yeah.
Well, actually, most of my family is scattered all around Europe and Africa, and for the most part of them, I hadn't been able to see them for a while, so I kind of missed them. So that's why I came back.
Okay. Gotcha. That's
Yes,
awesome. That is
yes.
awesome. So I know that also with the fashion show, and this ties into stories. You're working on, and in fact, you're also filming in New York. while you were here? You were filming the
Yes.
end of a series, or was it a
Yes.
film?
It's a series. It's a
Okay.
series, yes.
Okay.
We were filming one of the episodes that actually we are co-producing with Pierre Paris,
Okay.
the designer for whom I am the official model.
Okay.
And
And when you say we
build this,
just to give shout out to
yes.
people, who is the we that created this production?
It was Pierre Paris.
Mhm.
It was Pierre Paris' idea.
Okay.
And I'm involved in all the spirituality part because we are sharing a lot of the spiritual messages in it, and we want it to be,
You're a ringer.
you know, oriented.
That's not fair.
I'm all over the place.
That's not fair. Pierre, come up with your own ideas, Pierre. That's not fair at all.
No, but...
As a filmmaker, you got like an in. That's not cool.
Yeah, but we do. Like the original idea came from him, but since then, yeah, we have been putting all our ideas together and building it together. But I have to give him the credit, you know.
Well, that's good. That's good. Shout out to Pierre. Great
Yes.
job at the fashion show. Good stuff.
Thank you for him.
So when can we check out the series?
Oh, we are actually sharing one episode at every event, every Pierre Paris event. So at every show, every beginning of the show, we are actually sharing an event, and we are also sharing them on our Instagram.
That clip that I saw.
Yes.
Aha!
That
I got
was
the preview.
Yes.
Aha! Before everybody else.
You know.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, you can actually have them on the
in the house. That's cool. All right. I see where you're going.
Find them on Instagram.
The special effects and everything was.
Yes. Yeah, we have a great specialist on this. Yes, our graphic designer is just amazing.
So I might have to.
Nike.
You might have to tell him
Nike is the best.
To hit me up because we're working on some stuff. We need some.
Nice.
We need some effects up in here.
Yeah, I will let him know.
You know, the thing is that makes it so challenging is that when you do anything with fantasy or sci-fi, as soon as you say those words, it's automatically, oh man, how are we gonna make this real? How are we gonna it's already an obstacle.
True.
You know, because
True.
That's what people expect, and also to tell a story, you need those elements. So very good. Very good. Well, what challenges have you guys come across so far in filming?
In filming?
Mm-hmm.
I would say the main challenge was actually just what you talked about, you know, being able to find someone who had the skills, you know, to actually follow up on all this.
Right.
Definitely. But now that we do, we will share him.
No, we're good.
Truly. No, yeah. No, because he's great. I mean, you know, he's just amazing. So.
Are you guys gonna film again in New York?
We only filmed during the Fashion Week.
Okay.
While we were there, we filmed a little bit.
Okay.
Of the next episode, but then the following ones will be all over the place. So,
well, next time.
And what is nice with the special effects is that you can actually film anywhere, you know, and combine. Things, you know, like. Oh.
Yeah. Next time you guys come through, let me know what you guys are gonna do ahead of time, because our studio, you know, we got some stuff that you might be able to use in the process of.
Oh yeah.
A crane, a jib,
thank you. Yes.
And sliders and all that other good stuff, and so just let us know ahead of time when you're coming. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you.
All right, so if we go to the IG, and what is the official IG that we could see the clips?
You can see it actually on my page also, on Diana Massiera. I'm sharing, you know.
Okay.
I'll be sharing the episodes as they come along. Okay, excellent. Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
So you know where to go, people. Don't hit me up. You got the information. In fact, I'm gonna put that up again. And if you notice, right underneath the name is the IG that you can go to. You could check that out. All right. So what does before what's next for you? We'll leave that to the end. That's always like, and kind of all that we've been going through as a society, as a people, even as a culture, right? The last couple of years have been rough.
True.
Not to say that 400 years ago wasn't rough. 500 years ago wasn't rough. Let's just be real about that. But just in the modern day, we've come across economic challenges haven't gotten any easier. But then at the same time, false sense of success, because we do see more and more, and I'm specifically talking about people of African descent becoming millionaires, some becoming billionaires, right? But along with that, we have a COVID, we have all these things being thrown at us. From your eye, spiritually, what is going on?
The thing is, we are creating collectively the things that we believe in. You know, it's all a matter of belief, actually. So as long as we are all going to be looking at violence, at, you know, diseases, at pandemics, at the fact that, you know, the world is not going well at all, we will just be creating more and more evidence of it. And it's really interesting to see that when you do the experiment actually for yourself and you decide to focus only on the good things that happen to you, more good things happen to you. You know what I mean? And I mean, if we could do this also collectively, and, you know, for example, regarding the COVID, which was something that was very, very interesting, was that they had reports that, you know, at the beginning, like, there were no cases in Africa. They were like, how could this be? Like, you guys, like, you should be the first ones, you know, touched by all this.
That was the sentiment, which was messed up, but go ahead.
Yes. And they truly thought, like, okay, like, what's happening? You know, no cases in Africa? Like, why? But the thing is, people in Africa, they did not know about COVID. It's simple as this. So they just did not get sick of it, you know? And from the moment that very big communication started to spread out and the population was pushed to actually be careful, all of a sudden, you know, the numbers of cases, like, just flew.
Yeah, but you know
what? It was crazy.
I'm sorry. The way my mind works, conspiracy theory, I don't know. I just think nothing was happening. I think they were jealous and they were like, Yo, Jimmy, you not feeling well? I need you to go hang out in Africa because we're jealous because they ain't get sick. Go get them sick. Go on, you know. Anyway, I'm just saying. But that's true, though. I'm just saying. Yeah. Well, the reason why I asked, because, you know, I mean, I think every time there's a disaster, every couple of years, you know, it's always, these are the end times, the world is ending.
No, the world is not ending. The world is not ending.
I mean, our world is ending. No, miss that. Well, every ending has a beginning, so.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
But the
it's a perpetual change, you know. We just need to focus on what we want to change and, you know, like, try to make it better.
Right. Well, the reason why I asked you that is because the way I look at it is people were raising their consciousness. True. Because they had the time to.
Exactly, which was really, really good.
I mean,
see, these are the positive aspects, you know, of COVID.
You know,
exactly.
You know, so I think that and I'll just shut up after this, but I think that the powers that be, it wasn't really, well, yes, the economy, kind of, sort of, but it was really, people were waking up, people wanted, like, oh, history, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I should eat well. Oh, I didn't know that most of the food is fake. Oh, I didn't know that there's a bunch of I didn't know that people started filling the blanks, that if you were a certain mindset, you did the research anyway. You were into these things anyway. But because of boredom and social media, people got flooded with concepts and ideas they never thought of before. And then it's like, y'all need to go back to work because y'all are waking up. That eye is opening. Like, wait a minute. Go back to the 9 to 5. Go back to making just enough so you have to go back to work next week. Shh. No.
True. And routine, exactly what you said. Routine is just so dangerous for this. I mean, if we want to get back our personal power, it's important also to push ourselves to get out of our routine, because all of a sudden we see things differently and we start to question things, we start to wonder. It's, very good point, yes.
But anyway, give everyone your website, social media, that people could find you and support what you're doing.
Well, you can find most of my, all the links to, my YouTube channel, my website, the Amazon page for my books, everything. You can find it on Instagram. But for those who don't have Instagram,
all four of you.
Some of them. YouTube. YouTube is pretty popular now. But on YouTube, my YouTube channel is also Diana Massiera. And so on it, you will be able to find a lot of videos that I made around the spiritual aspects of quantum physics, around, understandings over the laws, the spiritual laws that govern us, on an everyday basis. A lot of tips on all this, for our everyday life. And links to all the other things that I do.
And all of the other things.
I just put them. All the other things.
I just put all of the things. All of it. All of it.
All of it.
Well, thank you so much for joining. Tell everybody,
thank you.
The whole crew, we said what's up. Thank you so much for taking the time to, what do we have, a 6-hour difference?
Yes.
Is that what's going on here? Yeah.
It's earlier for you right now.
Yeah. No, but we made it happen. Also, you know what? Any shows that you're doing, anything you're going to promote, let's do another show. We'll talk about some more deep stuff and promote some more stuff.
Yes.
Sounds good? Cool.
Yes.
All righty, so you're watching a special edition of Soulcaster. And thank you so much. Diana, you like both?
Thank you.
I
like both.
You like both? Magnifique. Let's do it.
Perfect.
And tell everyone bonjour, bonsoir, bon nuit, and we're out of here.
Bonsoir. Bonne fin de journée.
See, I can't see. Don't
Au revoir.
You could go to my IG, Michael7Michael, and thank you very much, and we're out of here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.